Coming up on this hour of Chris 6 Sunrise, the stories that matter most to you in your neighborhood. Robstown community is reeling after a series of tragedies with 6 lives cut short. What local leaders are saying during this time of need.
And in Flower Bluff, neighbors are on edge after a series of fires near vacant properties. But we'll show you how a Chris 6 exclusive meeting could spark real change.
Plus, when there's a school threat, every second counts. How new technology coming to Portland ISD could help detect guns on campus. Chris 6 Sunrise starts right now. Hey, good Wednesday morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to Chris 6 Sunrise with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Folks, we have made it to the middle of the week, so we got to get you out the door this morning. Let's check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones to see how the weather and the roads are looking. Weather's kind of nice.
You know, I am definitely not complaining about it. We're about 30 degrees warmer than where we were earlier this week, so looking pretty good in the 60s. You could still bring that jacket with you this morning, but both the weather and the traffic looking nice as we're kicking off our Wednesday. Here's a live look from that SBID Skycam. The road's starting to see a few more commuters out there, but still flowing nice and smooth as we're heading into this 6 a.m. hour now. And like I said, those temperatures nice and warm across most of the area, still holding on to one of those 50s, 58 degrees in Cotulla to the northwest. But as you work your way closer to the coast, seeing those mid 60s on the board, then those upper 60s along the coast, 67 and at the Naval Air Station, 67 in Port Aransas this morning. And as you're getting ready to hit those roadways, should also show you the radar could run into just a few of those slick spots with a couple of showers, one of them between Corpus Christi and Alice right now approaching 69, but the best downpours are isolated over the water. That's where they're going to remain today. But as we're going up towards about that lunchtime hour, we could still see one or two of those stray showers. Giving you a look at the traffic flow, plenty of greens on the map if you're getting ready to hit that roadway. So let's take a closer look at some of our major roadways here in Corpus Christi. As of right now, not tracking any slowdowns, so really just looking like a good and green Wednesday morning.
Stephen, thank you so much. The U.S. Supreme Court is set to hear oral arguments today over President Trump's attempts to fire Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. The White House justified the firing by accusing Cook of committing mortgage fraud, which she denies. However, Trump's critics insist he's trying to reshape the Federal Reserve Board to be more favorable to his policies. Supreme Court justices will take up an emergency plea from the Trump administration to temporarily remove Cook from the board while a lawsuit plays out in court. No president has fired a sitting Fed governor in the agency's 112-year history. So
the jury is set to hear closing arguments today right here in Nueces County in the trial for former Uvalde School Resource Officer Adrian Gonzalez. He's being charged with 29 counts of child endangerment and abandonment in connection to the Robb Elementary School shooting on Tuesday. Cross-examination continues in Texas Ranger Nick Hill, which consisted of a timeline of events using surveillance video, officer radio transmission, and evidence markers. The jury also heard from 2 more witnesses before both sides rested their case.
Port Aransas ISD is preparing to use artificial intelligence to detect potential threats in and around their schools. AI will be installed in cameras across the district's campuses. If they detect a gun, it alerts the school and police. Neighborhood News reporter Drew Bishop spoke with School Resource Officer Brett Boyer, who is also a parent of 4 Port Aransas ISD students.
It gives me a more precise area of where the situation is coming from. If I'm on one end of the building and something happens on the other end, I'll never know it until the inevitable. This system tells me almost instantaneous.
School officials say the technology is being implemented and should be operational in the next 3 months.
So fires near vacant and blighted properties in Flower Bluff have neighbors on edge, and city leaders say they're now looking for new ways to deal with the problem. After a series of fires, city leaders, law enforcement, and community members met in a Chris 6 exclusive to discuss what can be done, even with no abatement funding this fiscal year. And Neighborhood News reporter Tony Jaramillo spoke with Councilwoman Kaylin Paxton about the situation.
We had community members in the form of the Citizens Council, in the form of local businesses, step up and say, I have the willingness and the resources to help. So where those gaps are that I can fill, I want to do that.
Paxton says that the city is also working to improve communication through the 3-in-1 system while exploring community-backed solutions. The group will meet again in the coming weeks.
In Robstown, the community has faced a lot of tragedy recently. We told you about Randy Rubio and his 4-year-old daughter, Eden, and 12-year-old stepson, Connor. They died last Thursday in a crash at County Roads 77 and 36. Then 2 days later, Robert Barrera, Roxana Ibarra, and her husband Marcus were killed in a multi-vehicle crash near Victoria. These tragedies followed the death of 14-year-old Sean Sanchez, the city's first murder in 2 years. Stephanie Molina spoke with a local pastor who shared this message to his community.
God never promised we wouldn't go through hard times. God promised that in the hard times He would be there. So I think faith is a key element in being able to survive things like this. Just knowing that we're not alone in times like this, I think it's important for us to keep persevering and going forward.
Now, folks, if you would like to help any of the victims' families, look for this story on our website, christv.com.
Well, howdy and happy Wednesday, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a live look at our USS Lexington Cam thanks to First Community Bank. The Harbor Bridge there half lit up this morning, but still putting on a good show with the aquarium as we're heading into the 6 a.m. hour. Much warmer than where we were yesterday. We're at 66 degrees compared to those 50s yesterday. And with that southeasterly flow in place, we're going to definitely start to notice the moisture as we're stepping out the door into this afternoon. As you're waking up and getting ready to head out the door, though, still holding on to a couple of cool spots. 58 degrees in Freer, 60 in Freer, 58 degrees in Cotulla there. 60 is going to match that as you work to the southwest in Hebbronville, and then those upper 60s along the coast coming in at 67 for Port Aransas this morning. For our dog walking forecast this Wednesday, today we've got Peanut on the board, just enjoying a nice sunny day. Unfortunately, Peanut not quite as much sunshine today, but still looking like good temperatures for that walk. 65 degrees by 9 a.m., 70 on the money by 11 a.m., and only a few more degrees to go to get to that daytime high around 75 degrees here in Corpus Christi. If not 76 degrees as you work your way elsewhere, and then those lower 70s along the coast. Still not too much temperature variation as we're going through our Wednesday. For that infrared satellite, you can see the moisture really working into the Lone Star State, mainly focused on the South Texas portions right now, and that's where we have the best cloud cover as well as a few showers on the radar. You can see just a few of them right now. A light shower between Corpus Christi and Alice approaching about 69, but the best of those downpours is going to be as you work your way off towards the east. Some of those yellows and reds showing up back on the radar. Those are the better downpours. They're with the better moisture over the water, and that's probably where they're going to remain as we're going through the rest of our day. But we could still see one or two more of those isolated showers as we're pushing up towards about lunchtime. After we get through lunchtime and into the afternoon, it looks like we're on the trend of drying up, especially in terms of that cloud cover. Going towards tonight, still going to hold on to a little bit of it, and especially by tomorrow morning, could even see some patchy fog. We're expecting those light winds, and the moisture is going to continue to rise with that southeasterly flow in place. But the next big story is going to be as we go into the weekend. We're going to see that Arctic blast working in. Right now, here's a look at what one of the model setups has it bringing in by Friday afternoon. Already seeing some of that freezing rain work in towards the hill country of Texas. But the big question for us is going to be as we head towards Sunday morning, how cold that temperature is going to get, especially we're expecting the freezing temperatures, but how much of this lingering precipitation is really going to be around by about that Saturday afternoon time frame. Wants to bring it down towards the I-10 corridor, so keep that in mind. But by Sunday morning, potentially even working into some of our neck of the woods. Like I said, the big question is going to be if we have enough of that lingering moisture around. So we're still nailing that down for sure, and going to keep you updated as we go through the week ahead. But for now, for the next few days, expect those warm and muggy conditions, more of that sunshine coming out Thursday into Friday. Then the strong front works in, temperatures plummeting on Saturday, 54 degrees, that's going to be in the morning. Temperatures Sunday potentially not even escaping the 30s, but either way, protect those 4 Ps for the freezing mornings as we head into next week.
You asked and I went looking for the answers. Coming up on Sunrise, I found out if it's possible for a desal plant to be built in Flower Bluff in conjunction with an existing power plant. That's still ahead. Hey, welcome back, folks. 6:12 is your time. Getting a live look from our studio Skycam, looking at downtown Corpus Christi. You can see only half of the new Harbor Bridge is lit up today. Still looking pretty gorgeous, though. 66 degrees out right now. We're going to be checking in with meteorologist Stephen Jones with a look at the traffic, plus, of course, the weather in just a minute. But first, answering your questions on our water woes. Flower Bluff, you could soon see a desal plant in your neighborhood. See that plant back there? That is the Barney Davis Power Plant, the site of a potential future desal facility. I'm Sunrise anchor Brian Hoffman answering your questions when it comes to water. One of them posed was, why didn't the city of Corpus Christi build a desal plant at Barney Davis when they had the opportunity to back in 2010? And can it happen now? Now, to understand the answer, it helps to know what Barney Davis actually is. The Barney M. Davis Power Plant sits along the Laguna Madre in Flower Bluff. It already pulls in seawater to cool the power plant, which is why it's been long considered a logical location for a desal facility. In theory, the plant there could use the same seawater intake system and turn salt water into drinking water. And the Barney Davis Power Plant has been studied for about 20 years as a potential desal site. Engineers have actually said it's technically feasible and put it in multiple different plans for future desal. But feasibility does not equal approval or funding. I spoke with Nueces County Tax Assessor Collector Kevin Kieschnick. He was actually on the city council during 2010. He tells me that the city both didn't have the money for it or really the need for water, as industry wasn't as prevalent back then. At the time, a full-scale desal plant at Barney Davis would have cost hundreds of millions of dollars to be built. Today, the estimate is closer to $600 million, with tens of millions more each year to operate it, largely because desal requires massive amounts of energy. On top of that, Corpus Christi still had access to cheaper water sources, including surface water and reuse projects. So desal was viewed as a future backup, not an urgent need. So it's not exactly fair to say that the city chose not to move forward with desal. It's more accurate that it just wasn't ready at the time. But now, 25 years later, it may be a different story.
There's already power there. That's one very positive thing, and that's always been the appeal. The other thing is the proximity to the Gulf. But we'd obviously still have to go through all the permitting. There'd still be a long process that would still be 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years out.
And so Barney Davis has always been a strong contender when it comes to future desal plant. The question has never been whether it could work. It's more been whether the city could afford it and navigate the tricky environmental and regulatory hurdles that come with it. And as for the future of this potential desal plant, well, that's still to be told. Covering your questions in your neighborhood in Flower Bluff, I'm Brian Hoffman from KRIS 6 News.
Well, hey there and happy Wednesday, Coastal Bend. Taking a look at our USS Lexington camp thanks to First Community Bank. Got the new Harbor Bridge and the aquarium both putting on that good show for our Wednesday morning. 66 degrees on the board and those winds out of the southeast keeping us at that 66 degree mark in combination with the cloud cover overhead. Both of those are going to remain with us as we're going through our Wednesday. But taking a look back at yesterday, this is a photo from our Weather Watchers group over at the Coastal Corpus Christi Marina. Thanks to Luann Kingsbury, got some feathered friends here and some wonderful clouds in the sky. Just a great photo with those light winds keeping the water nice also. If you ever have any great sunrises, sunsets, or cloud formations like this, just head on over to that Coastal Bend Weather Watchers group and submit them. We'd love to have them. As for the temperatures as you're waking up this Wednesday morning, 58 degrees still on the board as we work up towards Cotulla, 67 there along the coast in Port Aransas as well as the Naval Air Station. Going to match that for Robstown this morning, and then Hebronville towards the southwest, rounding us out at 60 degrees on the money. As we're planning out the rest of our Wednesday, temperatures are going to rise once again. We are going to have that cloud cover all day, like I said, but still going to see those temperatures rise into the mid-70s by about 3 to 4 p.m. Maybe a shower or two as we're going through today. The best chance is probably going to be towards the morning hours is what the latest models have for us, but keeping that umbrella handy either way, probably not going to be the best rainfall totals for us. As we're chasing those forecast highs, not too much variation today. Going to be those lower 70s along the coast, 73 there in Port Aransas, potentially 76 over by Kingsville. Only about 3 to 4 degrees of spread as we're going through our Wednesday as we chase those mid-70s. When we're looking at the radar, we've got a few showers to talk about. The best downpours are going to be as you work your way over the waters with those yellows and reds. Got a couple of light showers here, especially one getting ready to push in towards Corpus Christi right now around that I-69 area. But as we go through the rest of the morning hours, like I talked about, could still hold on to 1 or 2 of those isolated showers for us. As we head towards lunchtime and into the afternoon, looks like it mostly wants to be on that trend of drying up with more sunshine on the way as we're heading into our Thursday, especially by tonight. But by tomorrow morning, could see just a little bit of that patchy fog in the morning. Now, the other weather system we're really watching is as we head in towards the weekend, going to have this next precipitation chance for us as we head into Friday night and Saturday, but you can see the cold air definitely making its presence known in the Lone Star State. More of that snow working into the Panhandle. Our rain chances tick up on the board as we head in towards Saturday, and then the big question is going to be as we head towards Sunday morning, especially, or sadly Saturday night into Sunday morning, how cold these temperatures get with the precipitation still in place. I should say the precipitation going to be a little questionable as we head into Sunday morning, but as we're heading into it, we are definitely going to have the freezing temperatures, so we're keeping our eyes on it, going to keep you updated as we go through these next few days, but the models are starting to become just a little more consistent with it. Through the next 7 days, going to see some warm and muggy conditions through Friday, chasing that 77-degree mark. Then look at the drop in temperatures, going to go from overnight lows in the 60s to the 20s by Sunday morning, and get ready to protect those 4Ps, going to hold on to those freezing temperatures as we head into Tuesday.
Stephen, thank you so much. So folks, you've probably noticed it. The helicopter's up, but the fence is still not down at Sherrill Veterans Memorial Park. Coming up on Sunrise, I found out what's holding up construction and how long it could last.
This is Veterans in Focus, sponsored by the Heil Law Firm, battling for justice, winning for the community.
Okay, folks, you asked, so we went looking for answers. For this week's Veterans in Focus, we're responding directly to a viewer's question about Sherrill Veterans Memorial Park and whether it will be ready in time for major events this year. Now, it all started with an email from our viewer, Mark. He wrote to me in part, quote, "We've noticed the slow progress on construction at Sherrill Park and are wondering if it will be finished in time for Memorial Day this year. This year is especially meaningful as we mark the 250th anniversary of our independence on July 4th. Now, folks, for some context, you might remember the U.S. Army Bell Huey helicopter was installed back in September, but parts of the park have stayed gated off ever since. So I checked in directly with the city for an update. We're continuously working on Sherrill Veterans Memorial Park. What's going on with it so far?
They're working on the ground and some ADA accessible walking ways for everybody to go out there and enjoy. So we're excited. That's coming to an end, and we'll have that fence down in February.
And to give you a better look at what he's talking about, my co-anchor Brian Hoffman took the drone up over the park. Those new walkways will form an 8,200 square foot pathway. The area will also be lit to highlight the helicopter, and the park's name will glow with LED lighting. Now keep in mind, folks, all of this is just phase 1 of Sherrill Park's master plan. But according to Dodd, once those fences come down in February, the park should be able to host events.
We're looking forward to our celebrations on July 4th, Memorial Day, and those other celebrations down there that mean so much to our community as well as to our Parks and Recreation family.
While phase 1 is nearly complete, what happens next and when is still unclear at this time. Next week, I'll show you why phase 2 is up in the air and how you could possibly help move it forward.
Well, hey there and happy Wednesday, Coastal Bend. Taking a live look at our USS Lexington cam thanks to First Community Bank. Both the Harbor Bridge and the aquarium in view putting on a good show so far, and those temperatures at 66 degrees with a lot of cloud cover overhead. Luckily, traffic flowing nice and smooth there along the Harbor Bridge, but there is a couple showers to track as we're heading out this Wednesday morning. Here's a live look at that radar out there. You can see most of those showers are isolated over the waters right now, but we do have one closer to home. Let's take a zoom in on it here. Right now, working in over that 69 area. If you're heading in from Bishop or around that Robstown area, hitting that roadway, definitely want to be mindful of it. But as we go through the rest of the day, going to be holding on to that cloud cover. Temperatures chasing the 70s as we go into the afternoon, and giving you a quick look at those roadways as well. Also going to see plenty of greens on the map. Only one slight slowdown there on 361 between Gregory and Ingleside, but other than that, looking like plenty of greens and a good and green Wednesday morning for us.
I'm John Matteries. The cost of home improvement is higher than ever, so we're looking at ways that you can redo that kitchen or bath for a lot less.
Well, howdy and happy Wednesday, Coastal Bend. Taking a live look at our Snoopy Skycam thanks to Matthew CCAC. A lot of cloud cover overhead. The causeway, of course, in view there. Looks like traffic's flowing nice and smooth as we see some more morning commuters, but 66 degrees probably might not even need the jacket compared to the past couple of days, and that's pretty similar compared to the rest of the Coastal Bend also this morning. Waking up in the 60s for most of us, a couple of 50s on the board as you work your way to the northwest. Cotulla up there coming in at 58 degrees, 60 in Freer, gonna match that in Hebbronville Seattle off towards the southwest. And then as you work closer to the coast, more of those upper 60s on the board, 65 in Rockport, 67 over at the Naval Air Station this Wednesday morning. And for our dog walking forecast, today we've got Peanut on the board. Looks like he's enjoying a nice sunny day. Unfortunately, not quite as much sunshine today, Peanut, but those temperatures still going to be nice for the walk as we're going out for this morning hours. 68 degrees on the board by 10 a.m., already chasing those lower 70s by that lunchtime hour, and only a few more degrees to go for those daytime highs. Chasing about 74 to 76 for most of us today. A couple of those 73s on the board, but really only about 3 to 4 degrees of variation across the entire area, so warmer than where we even were yesterday. And all of this cloud cover and even the rain showers we have out there is being fueled by this Pacific moisture working overhead in Mexico into the Lone Star State, really focused on the South Texas area, and we've got a decent amount of that cloud cover and rain shower activity. The best rain showers right now are over the waters, and that's where they're going to remain for our Wednesday, but we've got a couple that are closer to home. Mainly this one baby one that we're tracking is around 69 between Driscoll and Robstown there. Not going to be a major downpour as you're heading out on the roadways, but something to keep in mind, could just be a little slick out there as it gets ready to work into Corpus Christi. Over on the future tracker through the next few hours, holding on to a lot of these isolated showers through the morning commute. As we head towards lunchtime, starts to work off towards the east a little bit more, but still could see one or two of those isolated stray showers. And then as we head towards the afternoon, more of that clearing going to be taking place, and even as we head into tonight, going to see a decent amount of clearing as that system continues to work off towards the east and into the waters of the Gulf there. Plenty of sunshine on the way as we're heading into our Thursday, but then another big system as we're heading into the weekend. This is what we've been tracking, that strong Arctic front. You've probably been seeing a little bit about it on social media, but here's how it could shape up, at least on one of our model runs. They're starting to become a little bit more consistent in our neck of the woods, starting to see those rain chances tick up on the board by the time we're heading into the overnight hours from Friday into Saturday. As we go into later portions of Saturday and Sunday morning, these are going to be the big questions. How quickly the freezing temperatures could get here and how much precipitation we're going to have in the area. Right now, looking like a pretty cold rain on Saturday for us, with that freezing rain up towards the I-10 corridor. By the time we're heading into that overnight period from Saturday into Sunday, that's going to be the big question. We're going to have the freezing temperatures by this time, and we do know that, but the question going to be if we still have that lingering precipitation in place. This is where we would be seeing any of that freezing rain if it tries to make its way into the area. So that part of the forecast still getting nailed down just a little bit, but either way, it is going to get cold out there as we're heading into the weekend. The next few days, enjoy that sunshine as we head into tomorrow, Thursday, chasing 77 degrees. Friday night, that Arctic front works in. Going to see plummeting temperatures as we go through Saturday. That 54 degree on the board, that's going to be in the morning. The rest of the day going to come in colder, windier, and rainier than that. By Sunday, could potentially not even escape those 30s. Forecasting about 40 degrees for that daytime high, but either way, protect those 4 Ps, people, pipes, pets, and plants. Going to have those freezing mornings as we kick off next week.
I'm Joe St. George on Capitol Hill. Congress has reached a deal on health care, but not on President Trump's plan or on the desire by Democrats to extend subsidies. So how might this deal actually impact you? We go in depth next.
Welcome back, folks. So a bipartisan deal on health care reform has been struck on Capitol Hill and is expected to actually be voted on in the coming days as part of legislation that avoids at least a partial government shutdown.
That's right. And with insurance premiums increasing for millions of Americans, you might be wondering how this deal might change what you pay. Well, our Joe St. George is getting answers on Capitol Hill.
Congress has reached a bipartisan deal on health care, but it's not on President Trump's recently announced plan, nor does it involve the desire by many Democrats to expand Affordable Care Act subsidies. So how might this agreement actually impact you? President Donald Trump wants his great health care plan passed, which sends taxpayer dollars directly to Americans to pay for health care. Democrats, meanwhile, want Affordable Care Act subsidies brought back. Neither are getting what they want from Congress, at least right now. However, on Tuesday, a bipartisan health care deal was revealed. Community health care centers are set to receive $4.6 billion, the biggest increase in a decade, to help provide accessible care to 32 million Americans. Pediatric cancer research is being expanded too. Rural medical professionals, meanwhile, are set to receive an increase in scholarships and loan forgiveness. But one of the biggest reforms in the deal involves pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs, that are often referred to as middlemen between insurance companies and drug manufacturers, impacting rebates, drug costs, and what prescriptions are covered under which plans.
Health insurers use PBMs to manage their pharmacy benefits. benefits.
Meredith Freed is with KFF, a healthcare policy institute. She says pharmacy benefit managers have come under scrutiny by both parties for their lack of transparency, fees, and the fact many insurance companies own them. This healthcare deal requires new studies on how PBMs operate and puts some limits on what fees can be charged for negotiating drug prices. Freed says that could ultimately open the door to lower prices.
PBMs may retain a portion of the rebates that they negotiate, and there's concern that this might cause PBMs to favor higher priced drugs with higher rebates than lower priced drugs.
Tuesday's healthcare deal is being described as modest by many members of Congress and is by no means the end of the healthcare reform debate. A recent poll by Gallup found 29% of the country reported healthcare costs as the most urgent national health problem. Joe St. George, Scripps News Group, Washington.
Well, hey there and happy Wednesday, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a live look from our USS Lexington cam thanks to First Community Bank, seeing the Harbor Bridge half lit up this morning, but still putting on a good show. The aquarium joining it in that show, but either way, maybe not even needing the jacket as you're heading out the door. 66 degrees what we have here in Corpus Christi, and that southeasterly wind going to continue to bring in the moisture. Likely noticing it as we're stepping out the door this afternoon, and going to keep that cloud cover in place pretty much for the entire day. Here's a look at those dew points, 50s as you work your way inland, closer to the coast though, coming in the 60s, starting to see more moisture on the board, but unfortunately the best lift for some of those showers going to remain over the waters today, but we've still got one or two of those isolated showers into our neck of the woods. Temperatures as you're heading out the door today, 61 off to the north in Beeville as well as Alice this morning. Rockport coming in at 65 degrees, and that warm spot tied between Port Aransas and the Naval Air Station coming in at 67 degrees. When we're looking at the radar, most of those showers off towards the waters like I told you, but we still have one or two that are working their way inland. As we see right now around I-69, we've got one light shower there, so if you're around Robstown, could see some drops on the windshield. Planning out the rest of our Wednesday, though, going to see those temperatures climb to about 70 by 11 a.m., topping out in those mid-70s for daytime highs, but going to have that cloud cover all day and potentially one or two more of those stray showers as we're going through it. As we go in towards tomorrow, more of that sunshine going to be more on the board, but of course I'll have more on your 7-day forecast and that strong Arctic front on the way coming up.
Fires near rundown properties continue to have Flower Bluff residents worried. I'm Tony Jaramillo, and I'll show you how a Chris 6 exclusive meeting could spark real change.
When there's a school threat, every second counts. I'm Drew Bishop telling you how new technology coming to Port Aransas ISD will help find guns in schools.
Now, 20 minutes of non-stop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
Thanks for tuning in, folks, for our 20 minutes of nonstop news with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Folks, as you just saw, we have plenty of neighborhood news to get to this morning. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones to see how the weather and roads are looking today before you head out the door. Hey, good morning.
Hey.
Well, good morning, you guys. You know, the roads flowing nice and smooth out there, but starting to get a little bit of slick spots in some places. The radar starting to see a few of those isolated showers in our neck of the woods and could hold on to a few of those showers as we're going through the morning commute hours, definitely. Here's a live look starting off with that SPID sky cam. 66 degrees is what we're waking up to. Starting to see a few more commuters there on SPID and no rain there, luckily, so the traffic's still flowing nice and smooth. But on the radar, still seeing a few of those showers, mainly into the waters off towards the north towards Seadrift. One of those stray showers is working into our neck of the woods. It was over I-69 there, now continuing its trek off towards the east. So here in Corpus Christi, likely also to get a quick drink of water as we're going through about the next 30 minutes to an hour. Probably going to slowly make its way over here. Planning out the rest of your day, though, that cloud cover not going anywhere. Temperature is going to be on the rise into the mid-70s for us, but hold on to that umbrella for the one or two stray showers we'll see. And giving you a quick look at those roadways, seeing that slow down on 361 between Gregory and Ingleside like we normally do, but here into Corpus Christi, not too bad. Just a couple of minor slowdowns there on Saratoga, the main one being as you come up towards Rodfield Road. But other than that, looking like a good and green Wednesday morning as we're heading out the door.
Stephen, thank you so much. The jury is set to hear closing arguments today in the trial for the former Uvalde School Resource Officer, Adrian Gonzalez. He's being charged with 29 counts of child endangerment and abandonment in connection to the Robb Elementary School shooting. On Tuesday, cross-examination continues of Texas Ranger Nick Hill, which consisted of a timeline of events using surveillance video, officer radio transmission, and evidence markers. The jury also heard from two more witnesses before both sides rested their case.
Artificial intelligence is used in many ways, but here at Port Aransas ISD, they're using it to prevent a tragedy. I'm Drew Bishop taking a look at Port Aransas' new AI gun detection.
Every second counts.
Brett Boyer isn't just the school resource officer for Port Aransas ISD. He's also a father of 4 kids who attend school in Port A. That's why he's backing the district's decision to implement AI gun detection.
It gives me a couple extra seconds to address and or respond to threats.
The company Zero Eyes started in 2018 after the Parkland school shooting that took 17 lives. Their service uses AI technology and security cameras to detect weapons on or around school campuses.
It's protecting that environment and that culture that we have here about being prepared and not paranoid.
When a gun is detected, the Zero Eyes team immediately verifies the threat from one of their home bases. After confirming it, Zero Eyes then alerts school officials and local law enforcement so they can respond. Co-founder Sam Alamo showed me one of their success stories at a Texas elementary school that asked to remain anonymous.
3 individuals walked up outside, pulled an AK-47 out of a bag, and tried to get in. Fortunately, this school had the double doors locked and not propped open to get airflow like a lot of schools do. When I show you that AK-47 image, I cannot say we stopped the mass shooting by virtue of it not happening. I can never prove it.
And with the Uvalde trial happening right here, I had to ask, would Zero Eyes have prevented the 2022 tragedy?
I can't explicitly answer your question and say, yes, we would have stopped it, but I can say, on a weekly basis, we pick up guns long before they're fired in very similar situations.
AI gun detection isn't an immunity shield, but school officials tell me it's a step in the right direction.
How do you think Zero Eyes technology can help you and, other school resource officers do your job?
It gives me a more precise area of where the situation is coming from. If I'm on one end of the building and something happens on the other end, I'll never know it until the inevitable. This system tells me almost instantaneous.
School officials tell me they've begun implementing this technology and it'll be fully operational within the next few months. In Port Aransas, I'm your neighborhood news reporter Drew Bishop, Chris 6 News.
I'm Tony Jaramillo, your Flower Bluff neighborhood news reporter. After several fires around empty homes, city leaders and residents came together at a Chris 6 exclusive meeting to find out what can be done. A series of fires near vacant and blighted properties has pushed city leaders and neighbors to look for creative solutions.
So this brought everyone to the table today. It helped us iron out a really good action plan.
The Chris 6 exclusive meeting brought together development services, law enforcement, and the Flower Bluff Citizens Council to brainstorm ideas. Because there's no abatement funding for this fiscal year, no idea was off the table. She says follow-up meetings are expected in the coming weeks as the city begins to target the most problematic areas in Flower Bluff, noting that having all the city players on the same page will improve execution.
What we did going forward is we're going to leave that communication line open so that we can all, we don't hit as many of those roadblocks.
I spoke to ESD2 who say the cause of this fire is still unknown, but city leaders note that encampments and cold weather could be connected. In Flower Bluff, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Tony Jaramillo, Chris 6 News.
Well, good Wednesday morning there. Coastal Bend taking a live look at our Snoopy Skycam thanks to Matthew CCAC. Still pretty warm out there, 67 degrees, and those winds out of the southeast blowing in about 7 miles an hour. Going to continue to keep all of this cloud cover with us as we're going through our Wednesday. Luckily, going to stifle those temperatures from rising just a little bit more than they would into the afternoon. As we're looking at those temperatures powered by the Neighborhood Weather Network, of course, 67 degrees on the south side over there at San Benito Drive, 66 as you work your way down towards Garden Court. Going to match that on Windhillow Drive as we're working into the morning hours, and not too much variation there as we're working on the south side. A little bit cooler in Beeville, working off towards the north, coming in at 62 degrees for Hilltop Road, 63 for Beeville itself this morning. As we're planning out the rest of our Wednesday, though, those temperatures going to rise nonetheless. 70 degrees on the board by 11 a.m., chasing the mid-70s for daytime highs this afternoon. But like I said, with that southeasterly flow in place, we're going to hold on to all of that cloud cover as we're going through our entire Wednesday, so could hold on to that umbrella for an isolated shower or two as well with all of the moisture working in. Here's where that moisture is coming from. Once again, over the Mexico country there, and as we work into South Texas, the Lone Star State, getting a good drink of that moisture, continuing to fuel the cloud cover and fueling just a couple of showers in our neck of the woods. Right now, the best downpours are working in over the waters, a couple of them starting to work into the north towards Seadrift, but in our neck of the woods, we've got one tiny shower we're tracking right now here around Corpus Christi, working from Alice, now getting closer to Corpus Christi, coming up on SBID there, but for right now, still still pretty dry for most of us this morning. And like I said, as we go through the morning commute hours, could hold on to 1 or 2 more of these isolated showers for us. By about that lunchtime hour, that's where we really start to clear out across the area for more of that cloud cover starting to work off towards the east and taking the rain with it. By tonight, we start to clear up pretty nicely a little bit going into the overnight hours, but then that patchy fog potentially develops heading into tomorrow morning. We're going to have light winds, moisture continuing to rise for us, so could see a little bit of patchy fog for tomorrow's morning commute, but as we go through the rest of tomorrow, more of that sunshine back on the board if you've been missing it lately. And here's a look at the next big weather maker as we head into the weekend. We're expecting a cold front by Friday night into Saturday. You could already see making its presence known with some snow in the panhandle there by Friday. As we head into Saturday night and Sunday, here's where the story definitely gets interesting for us. We're going to have that precipitation. Definitely looks like some cold rain for Saturday, but by Saturday night into Sunday morning, the question is going to be how quickly the freezing temperatures get here and how much lingering precipitation is going to be in the region. Of course, we don't want any ice accumulations, but models have become just slightly more consistent with it. So we're going to keep you updated on the progress and for that forecast as we go through the next few days. But just keep in mind the potential is there for potentially maybe just a little bit of ice for us. Either way, definitely want to protect the 4 Ps as we're going into Sunday morning. Look at the drop in overnight lows. 28 degrees on the board, 27 as we're waking up Monday morning, and then going to have those cold mornings through about Tuesday.
All right, thank you so much, Stephen. So high cost is the #1 obstacle that homeowners face when starting a renovation project. Still, remodeling has actually soared to new heights in recent years. Scripps News Group's consumer reporter John Meadows takes a look at how to make a renovation work within your budget so you don't waste your money.
At this home improvement show, I'm surrounded by people hoping to do a remodeling project this year, but most of them realize that a thorough gut job could cost tens of thousands of dollars. So we're looking for ways to do that kitchen or bath for less.
How are you guys doing?
Fantastic. Kenny King and Sherry Horn are looking for a contractor to redo their kitchen that's been stripped down to the walls. But they say prices are higher than they had hoped.
We've got a few prices, and it's just ridiculous. Some of them have quoted me, what, $80,000.
A combination of inflation, tariffs, and high labor costs means a new kitchen ranges from around $28,000 for a minor remodel to $82,000 for a major gut job.
We take off the doors here, we reface the bones.
Donna Garland hopes to cut her costs by refacing cabinets with brand new doors rather than installing all new cabinetry.
I think the market and that kind of thing might be a little bit tough.
Pat Kearney of Improve It Home Remodeling says using the existing cabinet boxes can save $10,000 or more.
We kind of get a brand new look in people's homes for a fraction of the cost.
Another low-cost option, wood-look vinyl flooring instead of real hardwood for half the cost.
The #1 seller in the United States currently is vinyl flooring. They're getting really, really good at making it seem super real.
Other hacks to lower your remodeling bill, according to FamilyHandyman.com, consider IKEA cabinets and IKEA's kitchen planner tool. Get multiple contractor bids from Angie, Home Advisor, or Sweeten. Shop appliances by sale price, not just by brand name, and shop artisan-made lighting on Etsy. So if you can't afford that full remodel, try these budget shortcuts.
Just come back to us when you're ready.
And that way you don't waste your money. John Mattery, Scripps News Group.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
All right, to start off this list, the U.S. Supreme Court is set to hear oral arguments today over President Trump's attempts to fire Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. Now, the White House justified this potential firing by accusing Cook of committing mortgage fraud, which she does deny. However, Trump's critics insist that he's trying to reshape the Federal Reserve Board to be more favorable to his politics. Supreme Court justices will take up an emergency plea from the Trump administration to temporarily remove Cook from the board while a lawsuit plays out in court. No president has ever fired a sitting Fed governor in the agency's 112-year history.
The House Oversight Committee is expected to vote today on whether to hold Bill and Hillary Clinton in contempt of Congress. The Clintons skipped a scheduled deposition last week tied to questions about their relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. In a letter to the committee, the former president and first lady called the probe legally invalid, warning it could even lead to imprisonment. The vote comes as the Justice Department continues to withhold hold more than 1 million Epstein-related documents, despite a bipartisan law requiring their release.
President Trump is in Davos, Switzerland today, actually, to speak with the World Economic Forum. The president's third ever trip to the annual meeting comes as U.S. allies are worried about his ambition to take over Greenland, and economists worry about his tactics towards Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. After speaking at the forum, Trump is scheduled to meet with the foreign leaders and business executives on Wednesday.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has accepted President Trump's invitation to join the Board of Peace. This initiative is part of a plan to oversee Gaza's rebuilding. Trump has suggested the board could replace the United Nations, a move drawing international criticism. Leaders from countries including China and Russia were also invited, and last week the White House named the founding board, and it includes Jared Kushner and Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
A Department of Government Efficiency employee shared Social Security data without the knowledge of agency officials and in clear violation of security protocols. And that comes from the Justice Department's court filings on Tuesday. The filing is the Trump administration's first acknowledgement that DOJ employees mishandled Social Security data. In it, the Social Security Administration states that it is still not able to determine what information was shared through a third-party server that's not approved to store agency records. It's also not yet known whether that data still exists on the server.
American Airlines is adding a new app feature to make things easier for air travelers to deal with delays. The airline is rolling out new features in its mobile app designed to help customers rebook and manage their trips when disruptions occur. Travelers will now receive real-time options in one place, allowing them to quickly choose alternate flights or solutions that best fit their plans. The updates are available through the American Airlines app and on AA.com, and the app will roll out for users in the coming days.
So a collection of at least 10 documents from the National Archives is going on tour for America's 250th birthday. A 737 called Freedom plane will take them to museums in several U.S. cities. The documents are mostly lesser-known relics from early American history, things like George Washington's signed oath of allegiance to the Continental Army and the Treaty of Paris, which ended the Revolutionary War. Cities on the tour include Kansas City, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Houston, Denver, Miami, Detroit, and Seattle. That'd be really cool to see history in person like that, and we better keep Nicolas Cage away from it.
I know, that's what I was going to say too. That'd be cool if the Declaration of Independence were on that route, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah, no, that is definitely protected by the National Archives. Yeah. It's actually super cool. In the event of any catastrophic thing happening to that building, the documents are actually like submerged. I mean, if you've seen National Treasure, you guys know, but it's super cool the way that they defend it.
No, that is super cool. I mean, that's a lot of documents going on tour around the country, so maybe some of us will get to make that, travel up to, I forgot it was Dallas,
Houston.
it was Houston
Yeah.
it was going to. Okay, so maybe some of us would get to go to Houston. Be pretty interesting, but I'm more focused on this cold front that's going to be working in. We've got some big weather changes on the way, because today, not so bad. We're waking up in the 60s, and luckily that's going to continue these next couple of days, but by Friday night, that Arctic blast arrives. Temperatures are going to drop substantially as we're going into our Saturday, but starting off with a live look over at our Snoopy Skycam, thanks to Matthew CCAC, 67 degrees this morning, much more comfortable than where we were Monday morning in those 30s with plenty of cloud cover overhead. This cloud cover going to remain with us as we're going through our entire Wednesday thanks to that southeasterly flow. When we're looking at the temperatures out there, they're coming in the 60s for most of us, 67 in Port Aransas along the coast, a little cooler working inland, 62 in Mathis, 61 for Beeville, and then as you work your way to the northwest, Cotulla is going to be our cold spot, coming in at about 58 degrees as we're waking up this Wednesday morning. When we're planning out the rest of our day, though, like I said, that cloud cover not going to be going anywhere today. One or two of those isolated showers are going to remain around, and temperatures are going to climb into the mid-70s for daytime highs, but overall, I'm not complaining about the weather today. Looking pretty nice to me, if you ask me. When we're looking at the radar out there, the best downpours are over the water, and that's where they're going to remain today, but we've got one or two stray showers that are working into our neck of the woods. Right now, our best shower working into Corpus Christi. These light greens could see a few drops of rain on the windshield, a couple slick spots on the roads, but still not going to expect any of that flooding from that light rain out there. For our future tracker, like I said, 1 or 2 isolated showers this morning for that morning commute, potentially as late as that lunchtime hour, but by lunchtime and into the afternoon, it looks like most of that rain works off to the east, taking most of the cloud cover with it. And we're going to clear up nicely as we go into our Thursday, but first we might even have a little bit of patchy fog for that morning commute tomorrow, thanks to all of the moisture in our atmosphere. But plenty of sunshine is going to be in store for tomorrow afternoon, so looking like a pretty nice day. When we're looking at the future tracker going into this weekend, though, we've got that next cold front on the way by Friday night into Saturday. You can see the cold air making its presence known with that snow into the panhandle by Friday afternoon. By the time we're going into Saturday, that cold air continues its trek on down towards the south. But the big question for us is going to be as we go into Saturday night and Sunday morning. Right now, Saturday definitely looks like a cold rain for Corpus Christi. As we head in towards Saturday night, how quickly are these freezing temperatures going to make their way down from the north is one of the questions. And how long is this precipitation going to linger around? If we have enough precipitation, and of course those freezing temperatures, we know those are going to be around by Sunday morning, but if this precipitation is still in place, we could see some of that freezing rain push into our neck of the woods. Models are starting to become slightly more consistent on it, but for now we're still not completely sold that we'll see any of those ice accumulations, so we'll make sure to keep our eyes on it and give you updates as that forecast becomes available. Of course, getting a little more nailed down going towards Saturday into Sunday. For the 7-day forecast, look at the drop in temperatures. The next few days warm and muggy in the 70s. Saturday, temperatures plummeting through those 40s, potentially not even escaping the 30s by Sunday. And either way, want to be prepared for those freezing mornings, protecting the 4 Ps, you guys.
Yeah, definitely on those pipes. And hey, you know, the earlier the better, folks, especially all you fellow homeowners out there. Wrap those pipes. It is so important. You know, $20 in wrapping will cost you hundreds, if not thousands later.
Yes, that becomes just a nightmare. None of us want to deal with that, so better safe than sorry.
Or with a pool noodle, right?
The pool noodle and duct tape. Make sure you get the colored ones, though. Add a little color to your house. Thanks for tuning in, folks. See you later.